hit the station's fusion reactor.
You have lost much, endured much, sacrificed greatly.
Life's full of mysteries. Consider this one of them.
We are in the process of building the future. Rangers never run.
If you go to Zahadu, you will die.
Welcome to another gaming stream of Fortnite. I hope you guys are ready to hear me yell at 12-year-olds and I can't do that. We're live on Twitch and YouTube, and it's Monday, so you know what that means. Memes is going to be late as usual. Keith is going to feel very sexually uncomfortable. Apologize because we are his friends, and we're going to talk about the next two episodes in our Season 3 lineup, which is episode 13 and 14. And the first one we're actually going to be talking about, just as a generalization, because I can't remember the titles off by hand, is a late delivery from Avalon, followed by, we'll fill you in later. And with that, let's bring in my panel, the people that not only keep me happy and keep me stressed. We have Keith. Happy birthday, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Keith's birthday, but do not applause just yet till we get the rest of the chat in here. How you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Kate.
Hi.
Hi. All right. We also have Monkey Jeebus. You better put down that controller.
Oh no, I have my bong in my hand.
Oh wow! Oh my god! Oh my!
No.
And with last but not least, we have Mr. Tickle Trunk joining us. Adaga will not be joining us today. I believe he has some stuff going on in real life, so we had to settle.
And they made a very satisfying thump.
But if it did, and if we're actually lucky, Script Doctor might join us later. And with that, I'm going to quickly greet the chat. I hope you're all giving birthday wishes out there while I say hello to Twitch and YouTube. We have Archer Colin. Hello. I can't read all this right now, bro. Come on. Why? No. I'll get into that in 1 second. We have Lord Thoth with hi, everyone, and Avon Lives. We have Jester Sin, who is now on the Pride Sin, a brother and a great player. We have Arwen Avalon, whose sausage is still global and missing forks. We have thank you, shout out to Petty Pete. Thank you for that one dislike. I do love you every time you do that. Get a life. Who else? We have Sir Percelot. Good evening, panel and chat. Well, good evening to you too. I hope you're fighting a good war in the kibbles and bits. Who else do we have here? I can see some wine in the chat. I can see Mr. Tickle Trunk breaking my StreamYards.
Sorry about that again.
No, you're not sorry at all. Shush. Shush. And who else do we see? Oh my god, I think we're all the way through. We have Leah Rose. Hello. And Shane Nolan, hello. We got happy birthday, Keith. Look at that. Happy birthday, Keith. Brett Cohen, nice to see you here again. And Daryl the Derelict, who only leaves the couch to go to work. Hello to you as well. And we have Mountains of Elysium saying hello, Fat Steven and fellow nerds. And let me guess, Psychor did nothing wrong. And with that, hello panel, hello chat.
Hello everyone. Oh, by the way, dislikes are called hate likes.
I know.
They're actually good for the stream of the channel.
Yeah, I know. That's why I make fun of them every time. But other than that, how are you guys doing? Have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw Dune. It was fun.
Look, did anybody actually go out to see the Eternals? Just asking.
Not even the Eternals went to see the Eternals, and they're goddamn immortal.
The who now?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can't afford
honestly,
garbage.
it doesn't interest me, and it doesn't matter about the cast anymore. That's we've all come to a realization. It wasn't the Eternal; it was the Diversals, because it was just a checklist film where they swapped a bunch of crap, but there was no introduction to people, or especially normies, who have no idea of Jack Kirby's work, pretty much. And this was probably slotted out, as we were all seeing before, as something to go against the announcement of the new gods. But the thing is, I think we had a discussion on Culture Sunday Review. Disney missed a great opportunity to do a small, maybe 6-part miniseries introducing the heroes of the Eternals to actually grab the attention and give backstory without making a film 2.5 hours long and see whether or not the audience would have accepted it and understood it better. Because I heard a lot of people were falling asleep. And quickly, I see Das Wolfen in the chat. I saw it Friday. I'm sorry.
They could have used the Eternals in any of the movies leading up to it, but they didn't.
Yeah, I think.
Well, look, my big thing with that is the contradictory nature of what they've done with the Eternals. Everybody here remembers Thor Ragnarok and how much of a love letter it was to Jack Kirby. The fact that you had a director and many of the cast that seemed really big on what Jack had done. Okay. And you juxtapose that with the way that the cast and the director of the Eternals seem to be anti-Jack Kirby. So again, you Kevin Feige, what's with the contradictory stuff? First you're for Jack Kirby, now you're against Jack Kirby. I mean, this is not working, and this is another further sign of what we had talked about on TGIF with Cameron Pasha this past Friday. That there's a lot of really weird stuff going on with the MCU and Kevin Feige in particular.
Now, Keith, I have a quick question to add to this as a generalization. Do you think we're now at the point where oversaturation has literally killed the has-been stars, this somewhat known stars, and no one just gives a fuck anymore? Excuse my French, but no one gives a fuck anymore about superheroes. You can't even make super villains look like we want to feel bad from at this point. There's too much.
I don't know if it's oversaturation. Oh, go ahead.
Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, I think, will do well. It's just nobody knows these characters, and
that's right.
Chloe Zhao decided to be influenced by Zack Snyder,
which wasn't really even remotely. I think she was just told things to say. There's one of the cast members of the Eternals supposedly had read a lot of Marvel comics, and yet, he was one of those people that had negative things to say about Jack Kirby, and supposedly he's a Marvel fan. This is that a lot of marketing people, we're seeing basically what the result is when you have a bunch of people who really don't know what the blank they're talking about.
Well, it's more based off of Neil Gaiman and Jim Kruger's idea of the Celestials and Eternals.
Yes.
They took it from Earth X.
But even as you guys are talking about this right now, there's probably a lot of people in the chat right now that are going, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Okay, I have
because
a quick question.
And it's not. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
And I think it's pretty much, it's not because they don't want to understand, it's because they don't have enough knowledge base, and they forgot. Like I said before, Disney did not deliver this well. They did not think about how to introduce these characters before the film's released to grab attention and make people want to do research. WandaVision did that.
Again, let me at least be fair. Let me be fair. It is not Disney's job to do that. It's Kevin Feige's job to do that.
But
Kevin Feige is basically quickly losing a lot of
clout,
the cred that he's built up with a lot of fans, because it's becoming increasingly clear that he may not have been telling the truth about how much of a Marvel fan he actually was.
So Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Even worse than that. Worse than that. With Kevin Feige, he had built up so much goodwill with comic book fans in total and newbies or non-fans in general, that for those people, they don't notice. It's fine. It's just whatever with them. But to true comic book fans, it was actually thought, even by myself as well, that this is truly someone who knew what they were talking about. And now a lot of this more recent stuff, there is no way Chloe Zhao and many of those cast members would be allowed or able to get away with what they have been saying without prior approval from Kevin Feige.
Okay, so I have a question. Since y'all are fairly toy savvy, what's the merchandise like? Because okay, so it's laughable. If there's non-existent. Okay, so
no, but there's action figures, but nobody wants them.
Okay, okay. Well, that's fascinating because a designer-ish Urban Decay has the rights to make a makeup palette and collection. And it's not an ugly looking thing. It's actually well made and probably will make more money than the movie. Honestly, I would not be surprised. But that goes to show who their audience truly is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not y'all. It's like 35-year-old feel-good moms.
Yeah, no, it's
who are like
it's all the
drug
newbies.
addicts.
It's all of the newbies that have become. It's all the people that didn't grow up with Marvel, but have since become Marvel fans because of Disney. That's who their target is.
Whose moms are we feeling? What's going on?
Hold on. Wait. Before this shit gets weird, like soccer moms having an orgy in a minivan.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Everything is wrong with me. It's my channel. I had to break the tension. Lord Fuck has become a member at the grifter level, and I will say what I like because it's uncomfortable. And with that, thank you, Thoth, and you will get the most classic.
No. Give me money. Give me money.
That will go towards sink repairs because after this morning, Jesus Christ.
So
shut up,
it's the Austin Powers guy.
The Austin Powers guy?
From Babylon 5.
Wow. The fact that that's where you know I'm from. First of all, on behalf of him, this particular actor, Mr. Michael York, thank you. But also, wow.
Yeah, he's had a lot more roles.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Logan's Run?
Hold on, Monkey. Your mic is very muffled, so I just want to give you a heads up right now.
Oh shit! Sorry. I'll go back.
He's talking into his sleeve.
Other than that, like when it comes to, I'll put a channel marker later for the chat for everyone who's watching this right now because somehow went into Eternals. But this is up there with Shang-Chi for me. I have no interest in watching it. It's because they didn't deliver it to make me want to watch it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And Eternals is the same thing. You have Selma Hayek and literally Angelina Jolie, two very prominent female actors that have done a lot of good roles, whether it be you have Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, Hackers. You also have Selma Hayek doing like from Grown Ups and other films. But that doesn't matter anymore. We're at the point where it doesn't matter because they're doing these properties, but they're not doing enough research that pays respect or enough to keep normies entertained. I've heard stories. People were falling asleep in theaters. They had to nudge their partner. They felt like there was 2.5 hours too long. The CG was horrible. And I'm sorry, for a film that is what, 200 million budget and the CG is bad?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Again, given all the people that had a great time watching all of the Jack Kirby goodness of the third Thor film, I am just flabbergasted at how much of disrespect for Jack Kirby is through this entire project. Now, either it's a name that a lot of people in touch with that production do not know and do not understand and just expected this to be another Stan Lee property.
Ugh.
Or this was just it was just something that they did and it's a lark and blah blah blah.
It was a knee jerk.
Well, but this is one.
It's probably more apathy than it is be hostility towards his work because they're ignorant.
With Chloe Zhao, I'd say she probably genuinely didn't know. But when you say, on camera how much of a fan you are, and you still have no idea that the guy you're disrespecting is the actual creator of this. Stan Lee had nothing to do with this. This is one of the few Marvel IPs that Stan Lee had absolutely nothing to do with. Kind of like Captain America or the Human Torch or the Submariner. There are those Marvel characters that Stan Lee had absolutely nothing to do with. And if you don't understand that and you're making a movie based on something, that's like making a Star Trek movie and saying, I wasn't always the biggest fan of G. Roddenberry. In fact, I found him kind of offensive.
Isn't
what
that
do you do and make a Star Trek film?
Isn't that
that's pretty much,
That never happened. What do you?
That's Discovery, Keith. That's Discovery and Picard. We have that, and not in a film, but in a week-long travesty to vomit in enemas. That's pretty much
but that's the thing. That's the reason why you don't hear too many people connected with that say too much. In the beginning, it was all kissing up to Roddenberry, but kissing up in a particular way and never going beyond just the generalities of Star Trek as an IP overall, the us and what we're bringing. And when it gets down to the actual, this was before Kevin Smith and will continue even beyond Kevin Smith. And for me, this goes to, again, this is more of a Kevin Feige thing. It's becoming increasingly clear that we all got played. That everybody got played by Kevin Feige. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, what did Kevin Feige do? Keith, we've talked about this for almost a year now. Feige's also the same person who's also helped remove people from that ones that helped them out get those properties going out and had that creativity blow up in an imaginational delivery that was perfect. And he slowly started going, you're going to the minivan, and you're going to the minivan.
Yeah, well,
and you're going to the minivan.
Even the guy that had his job before he got it. And they were able to write the Marvel history to the point where this guy no longer appears in any of the literature connected to how the MCU came about. Even though he was the one that actually came up with the real plan, and he was the one that created the idea of having all the movies hooked together. And Kevin Feige was able to move him not only out of the big chair, he removed him from the history of the MCU. And as Gary had said, there's no way that you can ever ascend to be that powerful and not be a ruthless SOB. Kevin Feige is he's not who we thought he was. And he may not be as knowledgeable as he had claimed to be.
Hold on.
And so now, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Quickly, Sir Personal says, Lord Thoth, Jolie was never hot. She always looked fake as hell and emotional, dead inside. Selma's still hot as crap without tons of makeup. Honestly, I have to argue because Angelina Jolie in Hackers is definitely the opposite. I'll stand by that.
She had a lot of work done and started having body issues and not retaining muscle mass, and she looks ill, which is sad because she's not old enough to look ill.
It's called heroin.
Both ladies. both actresses are people that have been in these types of movies before, and that's what's kind of disappointing in my mind, that they should have known better. A lot of these other actors have never really been a part of comic book movies before. But those two have made action films and have been a part of science fiction and or fantasy and or other types of movies. So they can't really complain about making this type of movie. Again, this is some of the stuff that when you really go through it, it is enough to make you go, So again, if you're new to the Eternals and you somehow like it, good on you. It's great. Love it. Just don't read the comics and you'll be fine. But understand that Jack Kirby deserves respect. He should be properly seen as one of the major people who actually truly built Marvel and was a part of it all well before even Stan Lee got hired, and has built and created and co-created a majority of the really popular Marvel IPs. So, had he not died, he probably would have been making cameo appearances in a lot of these Marvel films himself.
Daryl, I don't want that image. Thank you.
Anyway, just
stuff. What do you expect? You're gonna.
Anyway, I just thought I'd ask that just to see what everybody's responses were, and it's pretty much what I thought. There's a reason why we all get along. So,
no.
Okay, there's a reason why some of us get along. It's just I just wanted to try to figure that out. But again, it says a lot about, I think, why we would like something like Babylon 5 and why some of us were a little worried when it was announced that it was being rebooted. But I'm not as worried about Babylon 5 as I am about how the MCU progresses from here. So we're headed for some bad stuff, kids. But at the same time, we could be headed for a lot of really good stuff, ironically, with DC, once David Zaslav takes over and, you know, it's Sunday, Bloody Sunday over there. And when blood dries and the screams stop, we might actually have...
Chief, that's for you.
Ha! Thank you.
So, for those that know us, we usually, when something is up on the question period, we usually drop it in the beginning of the episode. Yes, we're still going to talk about Babylon 5, but, you know, a little random discussion thing is not bad. I'll make chapters later. I appreciate it.
Anyway,
I love chapters.
That's it. That's all I got to say on that. So,
Keith, do you want to see that film?
Eternals?
Yeah, Diversals.
You know what? Once I'm in the home, yeah, probably.
So when it's on streaming, right?
You know, years and years from now, when my kids put me in the home, I might want to watch Eternals just before I end it.
Why? If you're on your deathbed, just be happy. Why would you do
I would
this?
love to see that Sprite character in that one Marvel film from 30 years ago.
Jesus, Keith.
Now,
what do you do to relax? Run into like a forest of reeds, like naked or something? What do you? Jesus.
And with that, we are going to switch out to. We're back to Babylon 5.
Yeah. Just don't cut yourself and bathe in lemon juice, please.
Welcome to City Walk and take an order, please.
And they made a very satisfying thump.
Hey, Martin Orlando, nice to see you in the chat. Lovely dog you have there. Evening, I'll have not, and we'll never watch Eternals. Good. You don't,
look, as you've been trying to say, Stephen, let's just get to a late delivery from Avalon, starring Mr. Michael York.
You mean Q from Austin Powers?
Or D'Artagnan from the Three Musketeer films.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good films. Yes.
Or Arthur from
those were
5.
good.
Well, he played the Antichrist in Omega Code.
There you go. This particular actor has been around a very long time, and many people know him from many different roles. And to have him on Babylon 5, I think, was not only impressive, but it says something about the quality, you know, considering that a lot of other science fiction shows couldn't get Michael on their particular programs, and they were able to get him for Babylon 5.
Hold on. Actually, he was knighted the Red Knight. He was told the story about the Green Knight. Gotcha, Lisa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Back to you, Keith.
So basically, we have one of my favorite episodes, mainly because it's Michael York. You know,
We're episode buddies. I agree. This is where
I find it. Well. I find this episode brilliant because this man is suffering from such a hardship of PTSD that he has adapted himself in a role of a personality or a fictional or non-fictional character from history that is so old that it just seems perfect for the moment. The way how they have split off from EarthGov, they're still neutral space. They're still trying to find allies, and when that one line comes in, he will show in a moment of need. It's kind of like, damn.
Yeah. Well, this is also another of a long line of adventures with Dr. Franklin and Marcus. Mm-hmm. You know, the two of them together is just it's fun to watch those guys on screen.
Yes, Marcus doesn't know anything about people. And Marcus, who basically is the best people person probably in humanity.
Well, I think Dr. Franklin's one of those people that is really interested in alien physiology and frontier medicine, whereas
Even though
Marcus,
he makes things worse a lot of the time.
Well, you're not giving him enough credit, because he does legitimately talk him out of this state of shock that he's acting out, and does so in a very calm, deliberate, steady manner. So it's not that he doesn't have people skills; it's that he's very logical with his people skills.
He is.
He's not an emotional mess.
Yes, and you have to speak to trauma emotionally. You can't do it through logic. Which is why he goes. I beg to differ.
That's how the episode transpires. He's very logical.
I'm kind of upset, though, that we didn't create a scorecard for every time Franklin tries to fix or heal something and ends up effing it up more.
Yeah. This is like, what, the third or fourth time, I think, in the series?
He just digs that hole, and then by the end of the episode, it's like, hey, right, sometimes I shouldn't just try to fix things. There you go, Doctor, you nailed it.
It's almost like he's obsessed with doing more.
It's like he's trying to...
It's because he's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to fix things.
Go ahead, Keith.
Having hung out with these guys in real life, it's another example of how close friends they really are, and how that kind of translated a little bit into the way they played their characters.
I love that aspect to the characters.
Yeah.
And it comes through. It really does come through.
It just with how comfortable they are. And so it makes whatever scenes they're in genuine. And we're going to have a lot of other examples of that in the rest of the episodes from now until pretty much the end.
Oh yeah.
But this is one of those really cool episodes with the both of them. And again, Michael York just sort of really adds to what you have in this particular episode. Even though, again, we also have this played out along with, as Stephen had said, the aftermath of having to break away from Earth, and all of the things that, it's easy to forget how much you actually get from Earth, such as, like, for instance, Garibaldi's problems with the mail service.
Oh my God, that's the most brilliant part of this episode. And I didn't want to say it right away. Like, no offense to this episode, I love this episode, but screw the Arthur storyline. The mailman versus Garibaldi is the best thing in this episode. Especially when he's like, "Oh, did you get those small pepperoni or those big pepperoni?" Susan picked up his
The mailman
hey, Mitch.
The mailman doesn't even fit. He feels like he's like a modern day character put in a science fiction.
A little
show.
bit, yeah, that's true.
He felt like a Seinfeld injection.
But that's a tribute to the writing.
Oh my God, he's Babylon 5 soup Nazi. It all comes together now.
Whoa. Words. Hey, Tron, how you doing? Come on, man. I'm not half an hour in yet. Come on. I'm serious.
I love the end where Garibaldi gets his money back by outwitting the post office because screw the government.
I like how the security team, besides Garibaldi, is terrified of only one thing, and that's the mail service.
Because it doesn't work as it claims to work.
Well, and that's the only place he could get his stuff in.
Yeah.
He's cut off.
Come on, man. This is the mail. This is the post office. We can get in real trouble.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. This man comes in with a sword. He's ready to lay down the smackdown. Marcus intervenes, and he sees the connection based off the accent, and that's where this camaraderie, whatever the hell that word is. Camaraderie. Hey, what's up, Legendary Tron? How are you doing? I hope you're fighting the users today. Camaraderie is grown, and we see later on the same thing happens with Jakar in him. And I think this is a milestone of inspiration to Jakar, that anyone can be an ally, just depending on how you want to protect the weak.
Yeah. Well, and again, to get back to Marcus, this is also a part of his character. We've seen this in previous episodes. He establishes relationships with people who may not be the most visible people, or may not be people that spend a lot of time in. Yeah, I mean, he likes to hang out with the lurkers, and he gets a lot of his information, and he likes to put together his own network of people who have seen things. I mean, that's really how he gets a lot of his information and how he gets around.
That's how he gets bacon and eggs on the station. He is the people person. He has so many connections because he's willing to deal with anybody.
Yes,
but it seems that Marcus like, digs himself into situations where he can't get himself out of it, and he usually ends up like, knocked out.
Well, that'll happen. I mean, that's the cost of doing business the way that he does. But then again, he's a ranger. It's all a part of it. And and go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also love the way Franklin shows interest in the symbology of his badge means, the Ranger's badge.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts telling him about it. This is not just both these episodes is not just about digging about the history of lore and fairy tale and where the truths lie within it. It's actually it's showing the lore and history of why the Rangers keep so secret and other things as well. And it's very well done, especially with like things with they've connected through multiple episodes, Jakar and the Jaquan and Garibaldi. We're seeing all that stuff starting to come to things and how all the answers are right in front of us. You just have to read and look out. The symbology is there.
Yeah. Isilza.
It's
one of the other things that I really enjoyed about this show, because a lot of the languages that they would come up with sound so natural. It's not like somebody's sitting in a room trying to come up with stuff, or sound like somebody's, trying to, that they're constipated when they come up with words. Sometimes
it is a killing word. That's right.
It's just, it's something that can roll right off the tongue. And again, it's one of the many things I admire about the work that J. Michael Straczynski and the writers have done in helping to create all of this. And it's just amazing. I'm really, really excited to see what he's going to be able to do with the reboot.
Mm-hmm. They taught us how to fight. They taught us how to live, and they taught us how to die.
Yeah. There's oh my god, some of the texture they give the Rangers in this is just amazing. I want to read a quote. Hold on. The Minbari say that only way to understand the battle is to understand the language. War is as much as concept as execution.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that line. That and when he talks about terror. They taught me how to live. They taught me how to breathe, how to fight, and how to die. And they taught me terror, how to use it, and how to face it.
And how to break my stream elements before the show goes live.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But I know if we look at the grand retrospect when it comes to people using the King Arthur storyline or characters that are having adapted or are those personalities, I think this is one of the best delivered ones when it comes to that, because it's showing how even though this man is suffering from PTSD of real world events when it was like the one war and you know what I mean, he still adapted something that was just as heartbreaking from history or fictional history, however you look at it, because there's actual stating facts where Arthur could have been a real person, and it depends trying to find the fact of the lore between the myth of the tale. And I think Babylon 5 nailed it.
It also shows the importance of myth as well, and how it stays relevant because it speaks to human problems, humanity, and so forth.
That is not my picture, awesome one, but thank you. Anyone else have something to add?
Isn't King Arthur like a French myth?
No.
No, it's English.
It's a Britain myth, isn't it?
It's
yeah. In fact,
I thought it was French in origin because of Merlin.
No, it's French because of Lancelot. Lancelot was the newest character added to the myth, because before that it was all Arthur and Merlin and Guinevere. And the French, the way I understood it is that the French created the Lancelot portion of it to get back at the British by inventing this smooth, very
down.
Well, not to take him down, but one, a Frenchman who is so good at what he does as far as being able to fight, and also so handsome that he would steal the queen away from the king.
Didn't Sean Connery replay that? Was in that movie?
There's Richard Gere.
Was it called Lancelot? No, it was also Connery.
Yeah, but Richard Gere was Lancelot, I think, and then Sean Connery.
Yeah. First Night.
Yeah.
I like Excalibur more. That's just a much better film. Not that I dislike what Connery was able to do, but the movie First Night is more of a romance novel version of that versus Excalibur, which is almost a sword and sorcery, but still well within keeping of Le Mot d'Arthur. So
Shane Nolan drops, but the classic story was written by a French author, The Death of Arthur.
Just because it was written by them and doesn't mean it wasn't already like a verbal mythology, because what it likely was based off of actual pantheons within the Welsh Celts.
Like Beowulf, it was a story for a long time before it was written down.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's probably more akin to that.
Supposedly, the Robin Hood myth is older than Arthur, at least according to the story. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's where Maypole comes from. The Maypole, that's supposed to be Robin and Marian is represented in the Maypole. And also in Le Mort d'Arthur.
Maypole is based off Beltane, which is a Celtic pagan holiday that is the opposite of Halloween or Samhain, and it's when fairies can be found more easily. So that's still fairly contemporary in comparison to the mythology and pantheons and things of that nature.
Aren't fairies like scary in like the original stuff? Like
yeah, technically fairies are bad. Even the good ones are bad. If you go toe to toe with them, like how the Dresden Files depict fairies is very accurate to the lore.
Side note: the Dresden Files is amazing.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's incredibly long. And
that's something I would love to see adapted properly. The show is cut off too short, unfortunately.
The hockey stick my ass.
Yes. So good.
It's horrible. That wasn't in the book.
This is so weird. I was thinking of that show just this morning, and I watched it. I rewatched it again at the beginning of the year. The one season.
Yeah, very, very interesting guy, the author.
Yeah, he is. He's very nice.
His writing style is very unique.
Hail, brightest day. How you doing, brother?
But to get back to Arthur, I will say this: I like the fact that if anybody was to actually try to have a film version of Le Mort d'Arthur, The Death of Arthur, I would love to see a live-action version of some of Arthur's early years as he was being taught by Merlin. And the scene with the man in the forest is a really good example of that, because that's supposed to be young Arthur meeting Robin Hood, basically.
Jester Sin quickly drops in and says, I love hearing Americans discuss English mythology. Well,
like Americans?
There's two Canadians here as well.
Yeah, right?
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like,
I'm talking to be fair, Celtic mythology, which is older than your British mythology, so...
Schooled. Slam fucking dunk.
Look, I just want to showcase the fact that public education did work with at least some of us here. So,
Rough Girl, I will check Facebook in a little bit. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day.
Rough Girl.
Thank you very much. But yeah, you can't tell me this isn't like Mario mixed with Newman from Seinfeld.
Right?
He reminds me of somebody I worked with at Diamond.
Steven, I hate you.
Why?
Why ruin this for me?
How does that ruin it? It's just a description. There's nothing wrong with describing and observing.
But this was on the same time Seinfeld was in his prime.
No, right? I tease. I'm not serious.
Yeah, it seems to be the homage. I think you're very correct.
Yeah, but this was on the same time frame as Seinfeld. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what you do when you see things that are popular around the thing is you try to adapt, copy, and pay retrospect. So this could be a Newman and Seinfeld kind of thing, but this time it's Newman and Bruce Willis. Light. Talking about sausage. From Earth.
Which is global. Deep lore.
Mountains are listening. Though King John in the Robin Hood stories is supposed to be the bad guy, he did issue the charter that made my hometown a city in 1185. Nice.
Done.
Someone had a point before I cut them off with Newman talk.
I don't recall.
Yeah,
He seems a little rougher than Newman. Newman's a lot more conniving and evil.
Yeah.
The acting in this episode.
He was easier to outsmart too than Newman.
His acting is incredible in this. He
Like
switches
this,
emotions so fast.
The post office guy is funny though because like he just like he goes like, "Oh, I'm gonna charge you for that."
And I am reporting this to the Postmaster General. Oh yeah.
He goes, "Oh yeah, I am." Yes.
This entire episode is just well made, well written, well acted, and again, it's Michael York, I should say Sir Michael York.
Sir Michael York.
And yes, gotta give him his props. So he earned it because not everybody gets knighted.
No.
Well, and then it's funny because it's like this episode is so much to the lore of the show too, because he's the one that fired the shots to start the whole big war.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of
and
historical texture in this episode.
This is one of the things that I really like about Babylon 5 because you will see this part of the story again later on, played out after the series is over. You will see this again. So
you can say what it's in; it won't be a spoiler, as long as you don't.
Well, he was responsible for the death of Ducat.
Technically, his captain. Technically, his captain was. He gave the order.
Yeah.
You'll see it played out in the beginning.
Yes, one of the movies.
Yeah, well, actually, the first one they did. It's this. I think this was going to be that was the first one that they did, because it was meant to show what exactly happened during the war. So it was set 10 years before the events of the beginning of Babylon 5.
Yes,
and so
it was sort of an introduction because they jumped to a new production company.
Yeah, but it was interesting where a lot of the characters were and what they were doing prior to the beginning of the war, especially where Londo was.
I started watching like a bunch of Londo clips on YouTube, and then like he's just so great.
Oh, wait till you see him in the beginning. I mean,
Young Londo.
Ooh. Just really all the characters. Now, having said that, not all of the characters that we've become familiar with on Babylon 5 are going to be featured in the beginning, unfortunately.
No.
I wish they had done a better job of trying to pretty much kind of spread it out a little bit and show more. But the characters that are featured in it, you know.
I think it's a lot of like the wrangling of the actors too. Like they might not be available.
True. Yeah. Again, this is one of those. That I liked in the beginning. I thought in the beginning was a very well told.
I don't know why Marcus's face is so funny right now. Sorry.
Because he looks like he's going to be cursing.
Do you have a carrot?
Like I saw a post on Facebook in the Babylon 5 groups where they had a picture of Patricia Tallman and Gates McFadden. She was her stunt double on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she continued to be her stunt double. She was her stunt double in a lot of the early episodes of Next Generation.
Wasn't she the stunt double for Nina as well?
For who?
Nina. Kira for DS9.
Yes.
Oh yeah. But she also continued to be a stunt. She also continued to be a stunt double for that same actress when they made Star Trek Generations.
So I meant Nana, not Nina.
Yeah, Nana Visitor.
Nana Visitor.
It's like your grandma, Nana.
She was Gates McFadden's stunt double for the scene where the Doctor gets knocked off the boat in Star Trek Generations.
Oh, the one where Data's like trying to be funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if Nana is short for banana.
Wow.
Why didn't you go ask her that? Well, she
My guess is yes. Because
She
why not?
might.
Yes, Garrett. Yes, Keith's parent, family, and people watching. We are his friends. Even the guy who just made a banana joke.
You can hear the
Happy
will to live
birthday.
oozing out of his face.
Now, the one thing that kind of bothered me is that did they ever verify if the sword was Excalibur?
No,
That's what that kind of threw me off in the episode.
but he gave
You
the
think the
sword back.
Vorlons gave it to him? Like Kosh gave it to him or something?
Well,
But
he gave the Lady of the Lake had the sword back though.
But I think that whole pretense that the sword was supposed to be, I guess, a metaphor for an apology, for regret, for
His pain, yes,
causing pain, for peace,
yes, his
for
personal
misunderstanding. Yeah.
The Lady of the Lake was really Kosh. He just saw her as a lady.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, the Excalibur was his connection to the power of the land, and being able to rule. Now, there were actually two things involved with that. It's not just Excalibur; it's the scabbard too. The scabbard, Arthur was only able to control Excalibur because he had the scabbard. Had he lost the scabbard, he would have not easily have controlled Excalibur.
Where did he get the scabbard from?
But it came with the sword.
Well, but on the sword and the stone, he just pulls it out of the rock.
The scabbard comes with it.
It does? I thought he did. I thought it was just a sword stuck in the rock, and he just yanked it out.
There's
No.
The sword and the stone.
The sword and the stone is, the sword and the stone. That's not Excalibur. I thought the sword and the stone was Uther's sword.
Yes,
but that
the Lady of the Lake gave him Excalibur,
an upgrade.
Yeah,
which is why it had to be returned to the Lady of the Lake.
Yes.
So he had two swords.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty bastard.
Kind of like Zelda.
Not even close to Zelda. Take this with you. What?
He gets it out of a rock and Link to the Past.
No. He would put on Majora's Mask. The sword in the stone isn't Excalibur.
Yeah.
Didn't the scabbard also have the ability to heal all wounds, whoever wielded or wore it?
Like Baby Yoda?
No, the sword and the scabbard had two different abilities, if my understanding was correct. Anytime now.
Yeah, that was the other thing, that the scabbard had been lost, which is the reason. You're right, Archer. The scabbard had been lost. He had lost the scabbard, and thus, he would have been able to survive Origin wounds had he had the scabbard.
Yeah. But getting back to this, I have a question to ask you guys in general. Do you think it was right for Franklin to show him his real identity and bring him out of whatever he was using to cope and heal himself with?
No.
Yep, it is, because it's not good to not face your shadows.
Yeah,
That's a psychological fact, too.
It is a wound of a sense, and he needed to be healed of his wounds.
Exactly.
To allow him to continue. Yeah, to allow him to continue to be fully immersed in this is not dealing with what caused it in the first place.
Yeah.
And the only way to heal from it is to face it.
So
in this particular instance.
So it was the right thing to do. It was just the wrong person to do it.
I don't know if you could really heal yourself from that kind of stuff. I mean, to be that responsible.
Yeah, that's fair, but that's why being very tactful and logical and patient was important. No other way would make him face this shadow in a way that could then stop him from picking the wound.
Bodega Outlaw says not the way he did it, and I think he's referring to the way Franklin delivered it.
Yes.
Franklin did it professionally as a doctor, trying to put a bandage on a wound rather than understanding that there's a mental and emotional scarring.
Yeah, where's what's it called? Troy from from Star Trek, like empaths.
I don't think it was empathy. I think it was the people he met on the station that started helping the healing. He started realizing that even if one knight falls, there another knight will take his place, and that it falls in the line with Jakar especially.
Jakar was great. How he jumped in and helped him out.
Yeah. So does he.
I mean, Jakar's in great shape.
Yeah.
How tall was Andreas? Was he like 6 feet tall? I thought he was rather tall.
Yeah, he was a tall guy. I'm 6'1", 6'1.5".
He's like
He's
Greek
about
or
my
something?
height. That's a good question. Man, it's been a long time. Oh man. Yeah, I want to say yes. Andreas Katsoulis.
Because
Yeah,
he
I
had
just looked it
really
up.
curly
6 feet
hair.
tall on the dot.
And then his makeup made him a little taller too, or the prosthetics.
Yeah, his head.
Yeah, prosthetics, but also the boots he was wearing.
Ooh. You seem to take it a little personally. He plays drunk very well.
Oh, dude, when he face plants on the table like Jakar, you come with me. They made a great film.
Lean on! And he crashes right through the damn table. I
Well,
love that.
Jakar always seemed like the most passionate about everything that he was doing.
Especially something like this.
Drinking? Yeah.
Well, yes, that too. But sort of righting wrongs, helping those who were less fortunate, that kind of thing, because that's where his people are currently. And that's the mission he's on.
Well, and it's not just about his people. He'll help everybody.
Yes, at this point, yes.
I don't think it was also about getting drunk. It was sharing a drink after a glorious victory. We can even see that relation when we're looking at blood wine with Klingons.
Yeah, and he's saying that too. It felt good to fight like that. No ambiguity. No overwhelming forces. They were the good guys, we were the bad guys, and they made a very satisfying thump when they hit the floor.
It was protecting the weak without having to worry about the politics.
Exactly.
And that's how a lot of us used to be raised.
Exactly.
Whether it be
it seems like the whole war between the Narns and Centauri, it's like really the Centauri's fault, probably.
It is the Centauri's fault to a degree. When we're talking in the current events, they're the ones who kept initializing because they enjoy power. They're addicted to it, like Dave Chappelle in that crack scene. They're more than jerks. They're conniving.
Yeah, they're all like, but like even like the lower ones, they're all like 1%ers.
Well, yeah, their entire society is based on status.
They're very French. If you, they clearly took inspiration from the culture of Versailles when that was built, which is based on real things and based on real things.
French aliens.
Yes, they're French aliens.
From space France. They're from space France, yes.
Yeah, but aesthetically, it's very similar. How their court system works and all of that. It's very similar to how Versailles became to be.
Yeah, Archer Colin quickly jumps in with Fat Steven. Is Marcus's comment about the power of Arthur's iconic or meta, given that one, it was made into a sci-fi series, and B, we're taking it from both sides of the pond? I think Marcus's comment was to say that legends don't die, myths and fairy tales don't die, because there's always a truth behind it, and I think that's what can give you power, especially the way this character's. Was it Daniel? Daniel is being Arthur because it's his best way to cope.
Mm-hmm. And this is also going to be something that will become important as the series goes on. So
I also love how Arthur did 1 and B instead of A and B or 1 and 2. You're a man after my own heart, Arthur. Or
dyslexia,
Archer. Colin. It's not dyslexia. Then it would be like B1.
1 in the chat to keep Tickle Trunk on, 2 to not keep Tickle Trunk on, and 3 because you forgot I said 2. But the drinking scene and
was that memes or you just put it up?
No, I have anything up. Memes isn't here. Calm down. Relax.
He's trying to summon memes.
I think he's trying to get his Neil Diamond panties ready. He's like, oh my God, he's getting me here soon. It's been an hour. I gotta get them ready.
Maybe if we say his name 3 times, he'll appear.
No. No.
You don't want to do that because then you'll never get rid of him.
We'll get memes, but with a hook hand, and we don't want that. I would also just say, remember to use the code Fat Steven Seagal on all your store purchases. Rosebud, which is not the picture I clicked on. There you go. Remember, Celine Dijon mustard. It's tangy and it stings horribly. That's about it. I got the bad jokes.
Hello, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry. PJ, maybe. Hello, dyslexics of the world. I love you. I love you so much. Tickle, you don't get to vote for yourself. Shut up.
That's why I put 0.
But how would they unite? Would they all show up at a different place?
He said untie. Here, I'll even hide it again for you because PJ, that was brilliant. Dyslexics of the world, untie.
I love it. Genius.
It was brilliant. It was so fucking brilliant. But honestly, the drinking scene with these guys was awesome because it was just watching them. They didn't have reservations. It wasn't like they're sitting at an ambassadorial table. It was just 2 men, 2 warriors, 2 knights, sharing a mead and enjoying the victory of their battle to help the less fortunate. And I know it sounds kind of sappy the way I'm saying it, but a lot of people enjoy that type of thing. They look up to that type of thing. It means you can stand up for the weak without feeling like you have to choose sides because you're just helping someone who can't help themselves. We have forgotten that in this day and age. This day and age, especially, it's look for the last 2 to 10 years. We're not letting even to hold the door open for someone no more because you're misogynistic. It's like the art form of chivalry is dead and has been replaced by the terminology of white knighting as something horrible. Yes, white knighting is horrible depending on the circumstance, but
like I live in the middle of nowhere, relatively speaking, and people do still open doors. Like even little kids will do that, and it's not dead. Manners aren't dead. They're just not in metropolitan areas.
And a lot of our interactions are online as well, and there's no manners on online, especially in text form.
What I should have been more clarified. What I mean is, it's being villainized a lot more.
Vilified,
recently. Vilified, villainized. Whatever. Stop dyslexing me. I don't need your help.
Untie, Steven.
But
Untie.
it's like I still hold the door open when I can. I'll trip them on the way in, but still I hold the door. But it's like
punched it back though. I mean,
no, because they're still on the ground and I roll away, so it's all good. They never catch me.
Okay, well, I mean, if they kick you farther down the hill, don't get mad.
I won't get mad. I'll be like, Crisco. And chivalry has been given the cold shoulder. It has. Being polite, being a gentleman is considered toxic to a certain degree. I'm not saying it's
only by a subset of people. I don't think it's
the ones that can't get out of their motorized wheelchair. Steven is a fat knight. Thank you. I actually am the whole moat bridge. I just stand there, and then when I lie down, the horses cross. I get back up. They feed me a chicken wing or 60, and I'm good.
I appreciate you took the high road and turned that into a penis joke.
I wasn't going
hold
to.
The door. Hold the door.
That means they'd actually have to touch it, and I don't want that. Lord thought I still open the doors for the ladies and the car door for my wife. I even push her in the chair when we go out to eat. Maybe that's the military RCMP. Maybe it is in that too.
Hold that door.
And I think it's the fact that they take it as men being nice or being gentlemanlike to women is considered a bad thing, like you're condescending. And I think that appropriation of that mindset, this is an opinion, is very wrong in its way, because a lot of us have been raised by our fathers or our figures or whatever parental figure that raised us. We're raised to treat someone with respect, but also go out of your way to treat them like more. Not more like they're worth more, but
it's about doing something nice for people and not doing it because you don't think they can't do it themselves.
Well, I mean, it's all about not only just holding open doors in cars or into buildings, but also how to walk with a lady on, when you're walking on the street and making sure that you're on the street side, making sure that you hold the umbrella when it's raining, stuff like that.
So in the beginning of Romeo and Juliet, where they mention that, it's because that's like one of the first cultural references where that is significant. Walking on the street side, that's because chamber pots were emptied into the street. It has nothing to do with manners. It has everything to do with guys getting shit thrown at them.
I
I'm
don't,
serious.
Yeah, but I
mean,
And we weathered that storm as men.
I
guys.
do that. I do that for the ladies anyway.
I understand.
I mean, that's how I was.
Relevance, but the origins is hilarious.
Mountains of Elysium quickly jumps in saying, I have been screamed at for holding a door open. Now I just let the White Walkers have them. That's cool. Lord Thoth says, I have been yelled at for slamming the door on any man with a hot woman on his arm. Is that wrong? Yes, that's assault. Yes.
I often will hold the door and then say, you're welcome when people don't say thanks. So, you know.
On the right side, yes, my mother drilled that into me. Yes. And of course, the son of a bitch has arrived.
Wow.
Right on an hour. Perfect, man.
That guy didn't do any bets today. I didn't have any money to pay y'all.
Well,
Shane Nolan, we did.
Okay.
Sean, it's okay. Shane Nolan, we did a Ronnie Barker appreciation stream a little while back on fan fantasy story ideas, which included lots of two Ronnie stuff. And I saw one more thing before we let that dragon in. And I'm trying to figure out where it is. Where is it? Someone called. I don't know what "gee" means, so I'm trying to find that comment. Brett Cohen says more clarified. Steven's going gee. This was to be gay. I am very happy.
You could have spelled gay. I don't know.
I know. And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
Ta-ta-ra.
that's your cue. Oh shit!
All right, that's
Is it because of Michael York?
You know what? If you get claimed, I will give you a super chat.
All right, memes. Have you seen the poll for today?
Oh, I saw something about Dragon's Word A. I totally approve.
Ladies and gentlemen, the poll today was something different. Memes will arrive on A Mumberry shuttle, a Blue A's White Dragon Zord, a Narn cart, or Stop It, Steven.
What about a Gengar?
It is actually E. I arrive on a Steppenwolf.
I thought you were going to ride on a copyright strike.
Well, to be fair, it's also a magic carpet ride.
Welcome, memes destruction. Oh, did you also know it's Keith's birthday today?
Oh, happy birthday, Keith! I should get you something.
Was that an Austin Powers reference because Michael York?
Okay.
So we're still in the first episode, and we're talking King Arthur memes. Did you enjoy this so far?
Dude, this was a phenomenal episode. It is so good, especially when you keep watching, because it gets so much better, because everything comes like full circle in there. Oh my god, this episode, you're like, all right, this is just a random filler episode, but what it literally is, it's like, all right, this guy is obviously mad, but then you're sitting back, and you're like, well, they mentioned like Jack the Ripper there and stuff like that, so it's like, could they have King Arthur? It's totally plausible. Why? Well, if you meet a Vorlon, these things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But all I know is just even, dude, the scene with Jakar. The scene with Jakar, Sir Jakar the Red. Oh, it was so beautiful. Just because at that point, Jakar's like, it was such a beautiful thing. It's like, no wondering about who's good or who's bad. It's like, we are the good guys, they are the bad guys. Why? Because they're starting a fight. They ended it. And he has a sword.
Well, it's weird how he's Arthur, but he's so accepting of aliens.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I mean, there was a round table, and I thought it had a diverse group of people that kind of looked somewhat the same, but different.
Shane Nolan, we are not singing Happy Birthday. You can, and memes will jump out a cake while you do that.
Yeah, we don't sing to Keith because we like Keith. I would not put you through that.
Can I
thank you. Thank you very much.
I won't sing.
I know. I have a bucket of ghee butter in the actual cupboard, and I do use that. It's actually a lot better for you, depending.
I thought that was... Never mind. I apologize for my racism.
Wow.
What?
My mind went somewhere, and then I stopped my mouth before.
I don't have that problem. I just say things, unfortunately.
No shit.
Well, now that we've all had a chance to comment, let's go around and see what everybody would rate this particular episode.
I give it an 8.8.
Why an 8.8?
Ooh.
I give it an 8.8. because I have to knock it down, because otherwise, when I first watched this, I was going to totally give it more, but at this point, it's like, I know what's coming, and it's like, I can't give... I feel too bad as a critic, because otherwise I'm giving this a 9.5, like my first time through, just because the sheer fact when you actually find out, like, this person's like, their mind literally just went into this mode to figure it's like, oh, well, sir, whatever, he was striking at the snake. There was a snake. There was a miscommunication there. It's like, he's literally the dude that started the, like, Minbari War. It's like, he's the guy that shot first. It was his job. He didn't want to do it. He did it. And you could imagine how much that would scar a person. And literally, he comes full circle and figures out who he is. And you know what? He has a cool sword. Oh, excuse me. He gave Delenn a cool sword.
Well, it was a misunderstanding, right? Minbari, out of a sign of respect, always leave their gun ports open. And what did Earth do? They took it as a sign of aggression.
Their gun ports are open!
But remember, this man, Daniel or Arthur, however you want to call him, he wasn't the command in charge. He was following orders. But he took that regret and that order on himself, and that is his weight on his shoulders. And even with that trauma, he actually signed up and went back into the war. What was it, the Battle of the Line?
He joined the Battle of the Line.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out because he what was it? He had survivor's guilt for the line because he wanted to die. He actually did it to kill himself.
I know.
That's the subtext anyway.
Zach says, "Happy birthday, Keith." To quote Backdoor Gary, "You beautiful black beauty." Oh my God.
Oh, thank you very much.
Because it's not just the guilt of like accidentally killing the guy; it's all the repercussions afterwards. Like everybody else who died because of that.
Mm-hmm. Right, and he has survivor's guilt.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Mr. Tickletrunk, between what you and just Monkey were just saying, it's like, all right, this is the guy that literally fired the first shot. Because like even so far throughout the series, and it does seem to be a fairly persistent thing. It's like, let them fire the first shot. So it's like, well, they fired first. We're now defending. So it's like, don't start a fight like Sheridan's father would say, but end a fight. Yes. And I do feel that is something very strong that literally continues to persist throughout the series in such amazing ways. But as that goes on, it's like, all right, you were the person that literally fired the first shot. I mean, it wasn't, you weren't the big cheese, but you're the person that literally took that shot that started the war. It's like, I live up here in Massachusetts. We had Lexington and Concord. It's like, the shot hired around the world. Who fired first? We don't know. It's like, who knows what happened? Maybe some dude freaking tripped and fell and it went off. But the war started, and we're now where we are. And that sheer fact that he went back to re-enlist because he's like, you know what? I'm in this war. It's just like, I'm the one that started this, so I need to be here. I'm going to a battle that's pretty much going to be a suicide. At least people thought that's what it was going to be. But Sheridan ended up pulling out.
Yeah.
How much coffee do you drink a day?
A lot of caffeine.
Jeez.
I've never noticed. Not once.
I also before this.
So my rating, my personal rating is a 10. This is one of my favorite episodes. Objectively, I would give it probably an 8, I think, because it is technically a filler episode, even though we do get important information. The acting is phenomenal. I love the writing. I love a lot of the callbacks to the myths, and I love that Marcus tries to tie it in with the Vorlons as well later on, saying that Kosh is probably Merlin.
Oh, they don't take it well either. It's like, don't say that.
Yeah, he's
don't
like, I'm not hearing this.
That. Wait, is Londo then Morgan Le Fay then?
Shadows?
I thought it was Leslie Nielsen Dracula.
What?
Dracula. It was before your time.
Okay.
That Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Oh, Leslie Nielsen.
Yes, that one.
Oh, I was thinking I have a special set of skills.
No,
wrong actor.
Yeah, that was
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, sorry, wrong actor.
I have a certain set of skills, and one of them is wearing a full body condom for Naked Gun 3, 3 and 3.
That was hey. Better have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Stay protected, kids.
Oh, that
I mean, adults. I apologize.
What the hell, me? And with that, let's go down the ratings before we get into the next episode. 25 people watching. Thank you for being here and listening to us ramble like dyslexics. I'll give this an 8. I don't care. It was fun. The mailman stuff with Garibaldi was nicely done. The way they are able to add comedic bits in between stuff that is dealing with stuff like PTSD was brilliant. And I'll give it a brilliant for that one. So that's definitely an 8 to 9 for
And
me.
both stories were about deliveries.
And with that awkward silence, Keith, what do you rate this episode?
I'm going to mute myself.
Don't mute yourself.
I give this episode, I give it an 8. It was very well done. And again, it's Michael York. Come on.
One of your favorite episodes is an 8?
Yeah.
Well, again, like memes, I know what's coming. You know, I know what is ahead, and I'm telling you right now, steel yourselves, because that final episode is just going to get you.
Fuck her up.
Get you.
Fuck her up.
I'm not even there yet.
What about you, Kate?
7, maybe 7.5. I appreciate the humor most of all.
And Monkey, in between V-Bucks purchases, what do you give this show?
I got 8.
All right.
Mm.
And
It's good, but there's better stuff.
Yeah. Captain Tickle Trunk?
10 personally, but objectively, I'd say an 8, I think, for all the things I said before. And I'd also like to add, Mr. Garibaldi's always put out.
Mm-hmm. And the Blue Eyes White Dragon Zord, what do you say, sir?
Oh, I gave it an 8.8.
Thank you for that decimal point. I love you.
I love you too.
And with that, we are on the second episode of what we cover.
Kissed his beard.
I'm not kissing his beard. I've already seen there was a parody account in here on Saturday.
He caught it and mushed it into his beard.
No, there was a parody account in my chat on Saturday that says memes' ex beard, and it popped up, started talking. It was weird. I mean, Earth 2 Taco, we had Earth 3 Taco.
Look, there's no way
Sounds
that was
like
Daryl. You
normal to
can't
me,
prove
but
anything.
whatever. You're
There's a bunch of parody
Chat.
accounts. They had Arwen Sausage.
Well, okay. We don't need to label all of them off now.
Hey, if somebody spends the time to meme you, they cared enough to meme.
That is true. And we are now on episode 14, Ship of Tears. Good episode. Psychor. We get to see our bester friend come back. We get to see they have an epiphany that they finally realize they have something to fight back the shadows. And it's one thing they've been looking for a while, because they've been in hiding. And it was just in the nick of time the way this episode delivers by the end. I'm not going to spoil it. Who wants to go first?
So I wish the intro to this episode, whilst they're watching the news, wasn't so blatantly made in the 90s. Like, no offense to the hair, I understand it's the 90s, but damn. Because you could play this on air now, and it would be completely reasonable and expected, and like, yeah, that's the news right there.
Kate, stop talking
That's
sense.
fun.
You're making
That's the
too
only-
much sense.
It was so
that's the
creepy.
only
You're
talk I
listening.
do.
You're listening to the things that's like. I hear a lot of those things basically anyway. I'm like.
It's like, are you sure this is 25 years old? I mean, really? Is it? But
Well, we never thought that we'd get to this point, but
Yeah, I
here we
know.
are.
I'm with you, but I got you. But I do love Garibaldi's face while they go back and forth between the news and them responding to the news. He's funny in his expressions as well.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we're having a quick ad on YouTube. I do apologize. I mean, on YouTube, on Twitch. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I like how fast it came up. But how many weeks passed by before they Earth News came back on and it turned into this fake, like,
a month, I believe.
6 weeks.
So it only took a month.
Yeah.
And they had to like even her eyebrows look fake at this point.
It's basically one
Well,
episode is a
90s.
week. So it's basically one episode a week. So just count back episodes, and that's how many weeks.
Yeah, but we do 2 a week, right? So
So it'll be the
this
14th
entire-
week? Is that what you mean?
It's Galaxy CNN.
This particular episode actually happens on July 24th, 2260.
Okay. So right in the summer. When everything should be fun and interesting, not so much.
Well, there was basically an uprising. There was a rebellion going on. Literally, they had people. The last broadcast was basically like, President Clark is blah, 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 boom. Oh my God, we're off the air. Everything is fine. Don't worry. Everything is fine. There were some people that did some things. Everything is fine.
I'm also not familiar with American news presenters. I don't know if that's Rachel Maddow. It could also be the mom from Sister Sister.
Oh my God, yeah, it does look like
Jackie
her.
Harry?
It does look like her. Almost.
Dude,
yeah,
I hated
wow.
Sister Sister. They kept requesting me back on that fucking show.
You were on that show?
He was the extra.
I was on both. They
I hate you.
Well, because like Tia and Tamara, like they both liked me, and then
I love Sister Sister. They were awesome.
requesting me on the show too.
Wait, what?
God damn it!
Thank you so much.
Can I be monkey?
I know, right?
All right, let's keep that one name Thoth to a minimum, please. A lot of streams get demonetized real quick because of that, and I'm not trying to say that as a dick. I'm saying that as respectful. Because for some reason, they don't like that two name. Just call him the Shadow.
The Pew Pew Shadow?
No, the Shadow. He was actually, that was his role.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's convenient here.
I was on a boat once. That's cool. Was it a dinghy?
Me too.
Walter Koenig was wonderful as episode. Yeah, I do agree.
Yes.
It was definitely mirror-verse Chekhov in this one.
Well, they had that meme where it's like the Enterprise is like asking permission to dock, and then they say that everybody's allowed except the guy in the right front seat.
How very meta.
Just throw him out the airlock. It's okay.
No, spacing is serious business.
I know. It's not pleasant. It's bad jokes. Okay.
There's a good spacing joke later on.
It's just,
Why am I terrified?
The Expanse actually has a.
It's not till season. It's later in the season. There's a really good spacing joke.
Is this where Kamala Harris got her start? Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I guess she might be that old. I
Wait,
honestly
that's
have
the
no
vice
idea.
president? Well, that'll make sense.
Kamala Harris is Indian though.
She's everything. She's whatever she needs to be.
She has a diverse ancestry, huh?
Yeah, I know.
I
That's
resemble
okay.
that.
Yeah,
Not
we all
the
do.
same resemblance.
Mm-hmm.
I just got some that.
Couldn't lead a monkey to a banana raffle. A leader needs funny catchphrases like "Take it."
But you can lead him to Sister Sister.
Let's not give Jeebus PTSD. He's like, why are the two of them? Why do they keep talking at the same time? I haven't smoked anything today.
I mean,
why am I tripping?
I mean, I like Taj too. That Smart Guy was a very relatable show to me as a kid because I was the kid that reminded the teacher we had homework.
I pushed Omar Gooding down the stairs to try to
I
get
know.
funny with him, and he thought it was funny.
I gave my first grade teacher a kiss when she said there was no homework. She was surprised.
How old were you, Means?
I was in the first grade.
How old were
so
you
that's
in the first grade?
I don't know, this many?
6-ish.
Something like that. Maybe a little more. 7.
7.
6, 7.
She is a chameleon. She identifies as whatever fits the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is a news anchor, so I mean,
Space battle.
Spaceship. Great minds think alike.
But hey, the best part about this episode is that their real working spacesuits that they never used in space have been probably very inspirational to real spacesuits that look way better 25 years later, which is incredible. Like, scientifically phenomenal.
Kate actually has a point here because some of the original spacesuits they actually went to. I think it was like a brassiere shop or something. Why? We need form-fitting clothes that are going to hold up to basically the elements and whatever we throw at it in space. So it's like,
aren't spacesuits made for like small people too? Like they're not really made for like super big.
Well, it requires more material.
They're made
kind
for
of like cars
monkeys.
in general.
You can be too tall to wear them as well.
I'm pretty
You mean
sure a
there's
lot of
not a-
astronauts have been over 6 foot. And
I mean, there's no NASA big and tall shop.
and they have to have significant muscle mass to stay healthy in space.
I think they could do customs, but it's more.
Yes, right.
What about you, Keith? I know you've been dying to say something while writing professional notes saying these are not my friends by the end of this show.
Memoirs.
He has a statement written like months ago.
You know what? Part of the great thing about being on this with you guys is being entertained by what you say and do. I am very entertained by you guys. Seriously, you guys are so much fun, and it's just there are times when it's easy to almost forget that I'm on the show because I get so into what you're saying.
So what you're saying is, if we pay you more, you'll compliment us even more.
Well, I don't mind if you decide to pay me, but I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
hey Jim, how are you doing?
Somebody link Keith's Patreon.
He doesn't have a Patreon. Just link my PayPal. I'm good. I'll cover Keith somehow.
But no, this is another really cool Bester episode, aka Let's Annoy Garibaldi some more.
It's not even just a great Bester episode. It is a Shadows episode. This episode is literally going, all right, there's the shit. There's the fan. It's coming. And the way they ended it was brilliant. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, it's not really shit hitting the fan. It's a spatter so far. This is the spatter episode.
I'm glad you're reenacting the imagery of the splatter shit. I'm glad you're making it so much more provocatively horrible to think about.
There's also
this is the one where Ivanova is about to blow him up too.
No, that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. Okay.
See, I thought that was this episode too, but I remember us talking about it.
How much forethought are you playing?
He's got the good stuff this week.
Twice sometimes, so.
No. It's the normal thing. When Bester comes around, people are like, should we off this dude? We probably should. But
well, I mean, they kind of shows up out of nowhere. I don't remember if they say what Sheridan is doing out in if he's just doing routine flight practice or what the plot for that setup was for that. But then he's like straight up with Bester. It's like, I know not to be in eyesight of you. We're going to have this conversation now. And if you don't do what I say, then I will leave. Good luck.
It's like, what'll stop me from killing you? It's like curiosity. You know, it'll be, you want to know what it is instead of blowing me out of the sky. And he waits. He's just like, I'm thinking it over. I love that part.
The way that was delivered with the whole Bester's whole little monologue, that's a little bit closer, Sheridan. Just come here a little bit closer. Come closer, I say.
Like he's got a van and a handful of candy.
It's like that kid, that drunk guy at the end of the alley. Come here. Just come here. Just come here. Did I do that right? I hope so.
Where did you hang out as a kid?
I'm actually reiterating a joke that was done by Gabriel Iglesias, like the 4 stages of drunk in a way. It's like, hey, come here.
Okay.
You never seen that?
I don't remember that one.
It sounds like something that he would probably do a bit on.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've taken the wind out of Steven's sail, let's get back to Bester and the wonderful things he does.
What happens next, Steven?
I'm going to flip you all off from this point.
We love you too. I still have your kiss.
Thank you. Thank you. Oops, wrong speaker. Hey, I didn't say I was perfect here. I'm just a host.
Why did you open up the mariachi drawer? We told you not to open up the mariachi drawer.
Be wary about offending the mariachi community. They're very close-knit. My friend got a strike. He said not nice things about the mariachi community.
What's he clicking? I can hear clicking, but I don't hear Steven.
He's looking for something.
Is he mad at us? Is it the silent treatment? This is the silent treatment.
I think he mucked up his speakers, or maybe he's attending to his father.
Oh. Well, then, you know what? Let me just jump in here.
Save us, Keith.
So we start the episode off with again, as we were saying, realizing that ISN is back on the air, new anchor, who has a lot of really interesting stuff to say, and none of it even close to being the truth, as it annoys Stephen, Susan, and Michael. Meanwhile, Sheridan is out flying one of the new Starfuries, and is informed that there is a Earth Alliance vessel within Babylon 5 space. He goes to meet it, and it turns out to be a Black Omega Starfury carrying Bester. First of all, let me just say this. I still think it's kind of cool that, they have their own Starfuries. A Black Omega. I mean, come on. Nothing says bad guy like Black Omega.
It is pretty
bad. Well, how dare you? It's like Black Omega, Omega Red. It's like, we're getting the point here.
Well, it's like the Starfury has all the best stuff.
Larry has dropped a $2 super sticker, but since it's lagging, I can't see what it is. Does anyone see what it is?
It is a thumbs up.
Larry with the thumbs up. Thank you, sir, and thank you for supporting not only me, my channel, and my
It's like they really...
I'm not even done my sentence yet,
Sorry.
Mikey. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come here. Thank you, Larry. Do not come.
I clicked that.
Sidecar reminds me of the Gestapo.
There's a reason for that.
Well, they're like the SSC. It's like the super secret Psycor. No, SSC. I apologize. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Hooked on Phonics work for me.
Now, quickly before we get into this, I quickly have to verify what the hell I was talking about earlier, so people don't feel like hail Larry. So for those that don't know, that's right. Whoa, wrong one. There we go.
Guys, especially, you know how it goes. We get loaded, we turn into one of three people, right? We're either the I love you guy, I hate you guy, or the mirror guy. You know that guy, right?
I'll get a copyright strike guy.
That is the come here guy.
Fluffy.
I know, because that's me.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't remember that one because when he get later on, he's talking about texting his. I don't remember if they're married at the time.
I think that's a different special. You're talking about where he's talking to, he's texting his girlfriend and says something about Cinnabon, right?
Kissy face, yeah. That's all I remember with the drunken spiel is the kissy face emotes. It's like, you're drunk.
I like Cinnabon.
I think. Wait. We got a Black Omega. Yeah, Black Omega. You started to see more like that. Like, yeah, this. Go back to Keith or whoever was talking earlier. I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to tell you.
Memes.
Come here.
Is a drunken spiel a glockenspiel you play while hammered?
Glockenspiel.
So, Babylon 5, Keith.
Yes.
I'm full of dad jokes. I apologize.
Oh, that's all right. All right.
It's all right.
It's
all right.
Be sure to
they're
call it Babel on 5.
I think we did that week 1.
You make your own Babylon 5.
Yeah. Anyway,
Keith, save us.
So yeah, is it all right for me to?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Sheridan is able to get back to Babylon 5, and he makes sure to not be line of sight with Bester, and basically Bester, is able to remark about their independence, and Bester being Bester, kind of slimy and smelly at the same time.
Why are you smelling?
Say what?
Nothing.
Oh, anyway, he promises that he's not there on official business, and so they're able to get him back to Babylon 5. Meanwhile, Jakar confronts Ivanova and reminds her that he was promised membership in Sheridan's new anti-shadow alliance, the War Council. And she says, she's able to tell them that they've been kind of busy, which they have been. But Jakar is adamant, and he's basically, he gets mad and storms out. Bester comes on board the station. He finds the security team full gear waiting for him, as well they should, because that's how you should always greet Bester.
I love it when he stops and he smiles before he turns the corner because he knows they're all there.
I gotta jump in quickly and say, Larry, we're not dissing Chekhov. This man plays the best asshole psychopath ever. He enjoyed it so much. You can see it in his face. He is the opposite of Chekhov. He's even better than Mirror Chekhov. He is the dedicated telepath dick at this point.
As soon as I watched a scene with Bester, I'm like, oh my god, I know the exact character that the Expanse totally based this guy on. Exact same thing, just minus the psychic thing, and just it is what it is.
Just despite being the blatant bad guy ish in this, he's the actor still has a very punchable face. So I can't say that he would ever come off as a good guy to me, because damn, that punchable face.
I don't think he's even a bad guy. I think he is a man like military. He follows the word of law when it comes to Psychor, the way people follow law when it comes to EarthGov and the military command structure. I think he's the same as Sheridan in a way, but because he's a telepath, there's already that angst of protectiveness and whoa, because of how Psychor runs and forces these types of mandates. You either take the pills or you become a psychop.
He is lawful evil, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Bester. I mean, God, he's like Benny in the Mummy, in the first Mummy movie, and you just every time you see him, you just want to go, you're gonna get yours, Alfred.
Yeah,
you are gonna get yours. And in the final, in the final Psychor book, oh yeah, he gets his, and somebody's there to see it. So,
are you saying that Bester eventually becomes hand banana and it just turns into tonight, you? Tonight, you, Carl. This is where Conan shined. His acting was on point. Yeah, I think he likes playing a villain more than a stupid person piloting the Enterprise. I'll give him that.
Navigating.
And again, his original role was supposed to be one of those two guys that puts Jeffrey Sinclair in the chair in season 1, and unfortunately, and eventually, unfortunately, Conan had a stroke, and he couldn't do it. And then when he came back, JMS had written this part for him, and it ended up being huge.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
See, that's a two-part he's known for. It's either Chekhov or Bester.
He's Bester first.
I think it depends on the generation of what they remember.
It's always more fun to play the villain.
Yes, and he did a good job doing this. Like
Bester is more of a full character than Chekhov.
Yeah. In Star Trek, he didn't really get many lines. He was sort of the butt of the joke because he was the Russian.
He was for the young, to attract a young female audience.
Maybe it was also because he was also in Starfleet as a newbie in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was more of a freshman in college than the eye candy of the women, but it could have been both things, Monkey.
Yeah, but they were always saying that that they added him because he was the young guy, and then they wanted to. I've heard it on a lot of Star Trek documentaries.
Yeah, no, that's true. They added him to bring in the youth market a little bit. Even though when they recalculated the numbers after Star Trek had gone off the air and found out they were hitting the audience that they always thought that they were trying to go after, that audience was with them. So, but I mean, for me, Walter Koenig will always be Chekhov. That's how I first came to see him as an actor, and having met him, a really nice guy, great actor. Loved him in Moon 44. Yeah.
I think he lucked out. He wasn't a big character, but he found two big character roles that suited him to the point of immortality in a way when it came to
Yeah.
Parts he could cut his teeth on.
Yeah.
Sink his teeth into.
What are you doing with? Are you a cannibal?
What? What? No.
Are you a cannibal, Trump?
Just because I have two teeth sayings. I mixed them up in my head.
I know a cannibal.
What?
No, back to Babylon 5, not Cannibal 5. Archer Colin quickly jumps in with, wasn't that Chekhov character at least partially created because the Russian pointed out there was no Russian representation? I mean, Russian representation? Maybe?
Partially, yes, partially.
We have Ivanova.
Trunks can eat me.
What?
I think that's through the Twitter post.
Deep lore.
I think I said it before, but Walter Cohen was in the theater when I went to go see Star Trek 4.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
How was it?
I liked the movie, but I mean, it was just like kind of weird that you see the guy on screen and he's like sitting in the theater at the same time.
Was it before or after the cast from Sister Sister were trying to ask you?
After 4, I was a kid when Star Trek 4 came out.
It's probably better that way. I thought you were going to say you were a kid on Sister Sister. That would have made it more weird.
No, I was 18.
So you were an adult kid.
Yeah.
You were a Memberry.
Oh, now you're just a grown-up monk.
Better than
Now
me,
I'm a middle-aged monk.
Quickly, Jim the Viking. I'm having dyslexia today. Yes, Pavel Chekhov was before Alfred Bester. However, the latter was so many times better. And even though bad guy, he was very much lovable and relatable. Like, yeah, the way we can look at Bester is the way we can look at DS9 when it came to the whole Maquis situation and Sisko felt betrayed.
Yeah.
They had the same type of pretense in both episodes. One was led on the station, one was led to a station, both to find one thing, or found one thing, the woman they loved. And it shows that parts of humanity, that no matter what they believe in, they're still simple human beings at the end of the day. And I can see that relation. And Thoth quickly jumps in with Koenig is one of the few OG crew I haven't met. Every con he is scheduled to, I am going to. He cancels 04. That's got to suck. And Archer Collin quickly says, I thought I remember that John Roddenberry brought him in to suggest that we would have gotten past political divides in the Trek era. We did. And then Discovery and Picard came out. Uh-huh.
And then the Federation turned into a giant xenophobic.
They didn't turn the Federation. No, that's not the Federation. They turned the Federation into a goddamn Dominion. They turned into the Dominion.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the people are going oh, we can't help aliens.
Let's not talk about Picard. We're talking about a better show. We're talking about a good show right now.
I do like the conversation with Sheridan and Ivanova. She's like, I know these things, and maybe you should take the lead on this one just in case. She's very reluctant in her facial expressions, but it's obviously he's right and he's got her back. So,
well, she would know. She would know if she was being scanned, and that's the real reason why it was a good idea to send her, even though she really, really doesn't like Bester.
And the slap she gives him sounds so good.
Made a great
it's so perfectly timed too. Was that, and you have your mother's eyes smack? It's can we bring that back? And people say stupid shit. Come on.
Did you replay that over and over, Kate?
No, I don't do that.
It's not a punch; it's a slap, but it's almost.
What you need to do is actually use the slap animation. So. You need to have that slap animation, but set to the Queen song "We Will Rock You," and every time.
Or you could have Prodigy smack my bitch up.
No, that'd be too. That'd be just. Then we have to give Bester that weird haircut and go down the road. I don't have time.
Oh, give him some.
We could play some Little John.
What?
We can do the acoustic version. There is an acoustic version.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I don't know why I sound like a Muppet Wayne, right? A Muppet John right there. Okay.
Well, that's.
It would have been cooler had.
Muppet
it would have been cooler had she just walked up to Bester and say, "Hey, Bester, what did the five fingers say to the face?"
Oh God, we could have just made Bester Charlie Murphy and got it over with.
Charlie
Murphy.
We must be fair. We must be fair to Bester because he's there for noble-ish intentions.
Yeah, he's in for I don't think.
Not originally. No, not
originally at all. He doesn't realize it's the woman he loves till he sees and reads the bracelet. He had no idea. He is there for one thing. He is hearing a terminology on Earth, which is called shadows. He knows nothing about, so he has come there to offer something that could help him get some type of information. That is that there's weapons being transferred or taken across areas that is well protected. And in that circumstance, you even see it in that scene. He's looking at the bracelet and he stops mid-sentence and it just continues conversation. But you see that emotional hit. He's like, oh, fuck. The woman
He doesn't
I love
even continue the conversation. He stops. and
No,
says, "Where-"
but everyone else is still talking.
Mm,
And Bester loves hearing himself talk.
he did.
He's like,
he did.
Oh, he does.
He's like jerking off while talking the whole time. It's just, oh, I hear my voice. It's great.
What?
Oh no.
And with telepaths, that is called mental masturbation.
Holy shit.
This
Drunk
isn't the
raid.
stream
Wait,
for
we
it.
have a drunk raid from Drunk 3PO on Twitch. Thank you very much, guys. Welcome to the Babylon.
Sweet.
Holy shit. 60 people have just raided. Oh my God. Hi, everyone on Twitch. Welcome to the Babylon 5 show. We have Keith from Pop Culture Minefield, Keith, Rowan, Ginger Raven. I said Kate, not Keith. Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Hello.
Monkey
You're
Jeebus
up
and
to a
Means of
great start,
Destruction.
Steven.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. We are, if you're a Babylon 5 fan, welcome. If you're not a Babylon 5 fan, stay tuned. We do this every Monday. Thank
we got
you,
to thank
Drunk.
Joe A for this.
Thank you, Drunk. No, I mean, that's what we're streaming on both platforms. They hear me. Thank you, Drunk. Oh my God, thank
Hey,
you, Drunk.
Joe A.
We exist in
Oh,
multiple
all right. I'm
states
going to
across
mute
the internet.
Jeebus because Jeebus is having a fanboy. right
Reese's
now.
not eating
Oh my
chips.
And mods, if you're on Twitch and modded on Twitch, please watch out. We don't want Drunk getting too crazy for the ladies. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Twice? Oh, my God. Dude, what are you doing to me? You're going to give me a stroke. Thank you. I can't. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Get back to story. Well, Keith is having a stroke.
What?
No. There's kids watching, Keith. What are you doing? Hello, everyone on Twitch. That was
Keith,
Toxic
tell us
Male.
a story about
emotes.
science.
There you go, Savron. I hope you like those
Sorry.
one better. We got Fat Steven emotes and then Reaper Steven in the chat, and he's showing off his Alzheimer's badge.
We're all going to hell.
Oh
Happy
God, thank
birthday,
you.
Keith.
Oh, and everyone in Twitch, it is Keith. It is this man's birthday today. He has finally turned 35.
Oh.
He can finally drink by himself without a nurse.
Oh,
You can be
jeez.
president
Yeah.
Of Lego Town.
of the U.S. too.
Hey, oh my God, rock on. Everyone, welcome. All right, let's get back into this. We're now on Babylon 5. And if you haven't seen this show, I suggest giving it a chance. It is a great show. It's a lot of fun. And yes, as we were going back to the previous scene, oh, that's not it. Where are you, Bester? Bester, come back to me.
Are you sure about that? I mean,
Bring back.
better use it.
Bring back.
There we go.
Bring back.
Oh, there we go. There's Angry
Angry.
Face Bester. We got Chekhov himself. Happy birthday, Keith. Look at this shit. It's flying in. We are also on YouTube. Shane Nolan says weapons components. That's what I was told. Yeah, he was under the circumstance that it was about weapons. He had no idea that the weapon systems in general were actual human telepaths. And then we start seeing this as through the episode progresses, that the shadows use telepaths. And when the last great war happened, that's what happened to the Narn telepaths. And it shows that they used them so much, it wiped out the gene pool of that species from ever having telepaths again, except for the ones that escaped. And that's messed up. Thank you, Tickle Trunk. Thank you for that.
So that's where Jakar was talking to Lita about helping or helping contribute back to the what's it called? Their gene pool of telepaths.
Wait, they were.
What?
They
'Cause
went
he was
out
talking
for
about-
pizza.
Jumping
He's
ahead
talking
quite a
about
bit.
mating.
Yeah, let's jumping ahead a bit.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Thank you for
that
the
is-
subs. Am I missing something? I'm in
People
my
are throwing
mind view.
subscriptions around on Twitch.
What? No! Oh my God! What? So we have 88 followers. We have new followers. Oh my God! I have to go look. Oh God! Drunk.
Yeah.
I love you.
Take
I
your
love you.
time.
so much.
Wait.
Guys, keep
Oh,
talking.
this is what Patricia was talking about. Oh,
Yes, but that's later, guys. That's
okay.
in the future.
No,
of
I'm
it.
not there yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slow down, me and Jeebus.
I didn't watch that far ahead, did I?
We are
No,
2
I-
minutes
I mean,
out
you-
from a sub train. What the hell happened? We have a raid. Oh my god! Thank you everyone for being here. Yes, 45 people watching. What happened? We have a tomb raid. The global emote has just been unlocked. Oh my god, guys, you guys are awesome.
Wait a second. You've unlocked Laura Croft?
No, not Tomb Raider. No, stop spoiling. Okay, get back to the show. Keith, take over.
What dinosaur?
Oh my god.
So I want to hold on before you start. I want to thank everyone in the rating, in the all the raiders for joining us on Twitch. Thank you for all the subscriptions. We're also streaming on YouTube. Follow the Twitch channel. Follow on YouTube, and Keith, take it away.
You are a shitty mod.
Thank you very much.
With you. Sorry.
Fuck you, master grifter.
Eat me. But yes.
Anyway, is it good?
Yeah, go. Just go, man.
Okay. Anyway, yes, they are able to take the White Star out with Bester on board, and they end up finding a ship with telepaths on board. And meanwhile, Delenn has to talk to Jakar. She feels it's her responsibility to talk to Jakar and explain the reason why he wasn't informed about everything up to this point. And she confesses to... Go ahead.
I quickly do this for the people who are dropping subs and follows. I'll give you guys a bunch of stuff real quick because we are on StreamYard. So first things first.
No. Give me money. Give me money.
And secondly, for the Power Rangers.
Totally should have commented on Dragon Zord. Sorry.
And last but not least, we have Explorer freaking out about a car.
The car. You're welcome, man.
You got the car?
Yeah, I got the car.
You all got cars. I want a car.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mike Likes Tacos. Thank you, everyone in the chat, whether on YouTube or Twitch. Spirian's in the chat, too. Yeah, guys, I put new emotes out. I thought you guys would like that better. The Reaper Steven and the Reaper Spider-Man. Or the Spider-Man Steven. I can't talk right now. I'm all over the place. Go back to you, Keith.
Take over.
Okay, so Delenn has to talk to Jakar, and she confesses to Jakar that the Grey Council knew of the Shadows Alliance with the Centauri, but they had said nothing. And she explained that they were trying to keep the Shadows ignorant of the Alliance's knowledge of the Shadows' return, and explains that if the Shadows had been exposed, they would have struck openly, and far more people would have been killed. The Nars rather... Oh, go ahead.
Keith, I'm going to add to that, Keith. Quickly, the line was, it is better to sacrifice 1 million lives than 1 billion. And even in that delivery of line, you can see the heartbreak in her eyes that no matter what, it's still loss of life across the board.
Yeah.
So deep.
So, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's so deep. Especially at the end of the episode. And when you continue watching, continue.
Oh, that's all right. The Nards, rather than being conquered, would have likely have been wiped out. Jakar understands, and he tells Delenn that while he may be able to forgive her in the future, he cannot forgive her presently.
But he also mentions that he would have killed her on the spot had he been told this when she should have, in theory, should have told him this. So the fact that they held their own water and worked through their own things made this interaction much more palatable for both parties, as horrible as it may be.
I think Minbari's might be stronger than Narn, so
That's a good question. I mean, Jakar is clearly a big Narn, so I wouldn't necessarily think it would be an even fight, but maybe the warrior cast would be stronger. It's a very difficult thing to tell because we don't see a lot of them.
We have a spin-off series now,
right? Yes,
but the way you can sum it up is even from Star Trek itself is that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one or the few. If you want to It makes sense in this. No, you can go all you want. It actually
No,
it is a
You're saying things that make libertarians uncomfortable, Stephen.
Deadliest Warrior Babylon 5 edition.
I don't view it that way at all. I think it has more to do with personal choices, and you are not exempt from the consequences of your choices, and that's what they're dealing with right now.
I guess to a degree, but I think at the same time, I'm talking about the discussion between those two parties. It's literally like a different format of that thing from the amount of lives, like the many versus the few. And 1 million is a small sacrifice to 1 billion. And it's even a hard way to even say that or even tell that your planet, your race was
Captain
the
America
1
wouldn't
million.
have accepted that.
Captain America's not in this.
What are you talking about? So what are you talking about?
To be fair, if you extrapolate it out, you end up getting to Thanos.
Oh my god. I'm going to snap myself out of existence right now. Archer Collins says, interesting also the conversation takes place in Sheridan's quarters, sort of a neutral territory, and a reminder that there are others involved. That's it, because Delenn took it upon herself to actually have this conversation with Jakar. But at least you're seeing that Sheridan trusts her enough or is in love with her enough that the conversation happens in his quarters. It shows that it's even in a place of command and compassion at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, what you have is Dr. Franklin gets involved once they get everything back to Babylon 5, and that's where they find all of the cryotubes, and they open one, and a woman starts to interact, and she breaks loose and starts to interface with all of the machinery, and turns out it's
a very nice way of putting
aliens.
These are
interface.
She wakes up screaming before. Well, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not even that. These are all telepaths that have refused to take the pill or become part of the core. From my understanding, is correct, right? These are all
they're
telepaths
blips
on the run.
They're all runners.
The thing I wanted to ask when it relates to this is, do you think this is also they found the Underground Railroad at the same time, and these are all the people they've actually saved?
Ooh.
I never thought of that.
Because literally, these are the navigational systems of shadow ships, and we're going to find that later on. That they need a telepath or a life form in this biotech vehicle. Mm-hmm. It's literally the nervous system of this thing. That it cannot work without another life form as the central computer, the central processing unit, and it's freaky. It's like a Matrix style kind of thing.
They're kind of like the ships in Andromeda. How they needed an actual live pilot to pilot through the slipstream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I remember that now.
Anyway,
sorry, Keith. Sorry to cut you off, but I need to do this because all I know is I think we almost skipped like one of the most important parts of this episode is because they take the White Star out. All of a sudden, it's like, oh look, there's a shadow ship. It's pretty big. It's sneaking up, and all of a sudden, it's like shot of Bester sitting there, and then the ship is like, no.
It pretty much just flew off. It didn't engage. It didn't destroy. It didn't try to find out who it was. Because technically, the Shadows don't even know what the White Stars are yet. They don't know what race is because it's foreign to them. It has familiarities in it, but they still don't know how to classify. And you can see it float off. And we're even forgetting one thing with Lennier. Lennier drops that little like passive aggressive humor bomb of sarcasm. It was like, do you want us to chase after it as well? Like. Come on, man. And I love Lennier for that because he was like, hey, I got you back, Sheridan. And I love that part.
Well, basically, Bester winds up in MedLab, and the woman recognizes Bester partially and then tries to attack him. And Garibaldi realizes that it's Bester's badge. And so he takes his badge from him and throws it to the ground, and that's when Carolyn Sanderson, the woman in question, recognizes or at least starts to speak to Alfred by calling him Al. Oh, Al. And back in Sheridan's office, Bester reveals that this woman, Carolyn Sanderson, is the only woman he's ever loved, even though he is married with a child. That was sort of set up by the Corps, which is what they do.
He said it so as matter of a factly too. He's like, well, of course. It's like, you know who this is? Yes, brought to you by Mumberry Juice. But all I'm saying is, you just have this thing, and it's like he's saying this thing so blatantly. And you're like, well, that seems within Bester's character. I mean, like, if we're gonna kind of be like a neutral-ish lawful evil, it's like, all right. It's like, yes, she is my lover. I did everything for her. Of course, I'm married. That's what you're supposed to do. It's like,
but that's the thing, though, that the Psi Corps dictates you to who you're going to marry because they want to make sure your child is a stronger telepath down the road, so it can be incorporated within the Psi Corps itself. So it's not love; it's like just stick it in, make a baby, and keep following the cycle things. I think this
holy crap, I just realized that right now. Wow, they touch upon a lot of issues in the show.
But this episode also shows the fact that even a psychop like Bester that we've been taught and grown to hate or even dislike still has his humanity. Can still be
even in the heart of space, psychops feel love.
Psychops need love too.
It's true.
Bester begs them to save Carolyn and promises in exchange to do anything to return the favor, claiming that the war against the Shadows is now also his war. Meanwhile, Delenn leads Jakar to the new command room where the command staff are working, and Jakar is honored to now be a part of the war council in the fight against the Shadows. Garibaldi, having read the Book of Jaquan, figures out the reason the Shadows killed all the Norn telepaths, and he quickly gathers everyone to explain. While Ivanova theorizes that while they were in hyperspace, the Shadows sensed Bester's presence on the White Star, and that was why the Shadows did not dare attack the vessel. Ivanova also informs them the big news that the Shadows are now openly attacking the planet. Space. It has begun.
You're breaking up a little bit at the end.
It has begun.
It has begun. Hold on.
This is not a happy thing. This is a sad thing.
And with
I
that,
know,
ladies
but
and
it's so
gentlemen,
good.
thank you for that raid. As of now, the command Grift should now be active. And you guys have a new emoji on Twitch. Thank you so much, guys. It's now there.
Sweet.
But it's you see the Shadows. That means this is the opening to war. It's now the Shadows are making themselves known. They're no longer within the Shadows. Sorry, no pun intended. But this also means this is a kick in the ass for the Vorlons to be like, shit, we can no longer stand by. And we're going to start seeing things pick up throughout the episodes, and we're going to see a lot more space battles and a lot more lore when it comes to the Great War, the first ones, and what is going to happen to the races presently going on. And Memes is trying to right now, Mr. Miyagi, his hands.
Friction.
Well, everything truly changes from this point on. There is no turning back. What we know of and have enjoyed as Babylon 5 up to this point, you're gonna lots of things are gonna be happening real quick, and you're gonna see some changes and certain things happening with certain characters, and we are on the
cusp.
This is it. We are on the way to the final episode. I mean, this is it. Everything changes from this point on.
Yeah, there's so much shit. It's easier to throw fans at the shit rather than the other way around now.
It's like, all right, we're going off the top of the coaster, and then we go down so far that we literally loop around. It's kind of like Time Bottle, kind of like how our actual reality may be set up. I'm not saying it's kind of holographic, but it's freaking sweet.
This is basically it for a lot of characters. Any characters that haven't made any major changes that you've seen, a lot of characters will not be the same coming out the other side of this once this is over.
I understand that, Sir Perslot. The concept of arranged marriage relations and selective breeding is not new. Yeah, I know that. It originated in feudal times and in WW2 with the Dice Corps and the Yahtzees. one called Lebanon. Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. It's just trying to get the perfect breed. I think that's what it falls under.
It's older than that, even realistically speaking. That's
Well,
why.
they're showing more of like the supremacist nature that it kind of like starts going into.
The conversation Ivanova and Bester have definitely alludes to that.
This is what is covered in the books, and this is what I was talking about. There is a trilogy of books that cover everything, starting with the beginning of telepaths being found on Earth. I think sometime just before World War II, and ending years after the final episode of Babylon 5. And so, and you begin to see certain things. You learn the story of the Psychor and Bester's role within all of it, his real role, a role that he didn't even know, and which leads to him getting his. So,
but I think, do you guys agree though that when Bester finally realized that the woman he loves is being turned into a weapon system, he started seeing how much the Psychor doesn't mean to them, that they're actually considered the enemy by how the mental training has been going on by the servants of the Dark Ones, aka the Shadows, when we see the flashbacks of those aliens with the drill or whatever you want to call it. And Bester's starting to realize that mother and father that they're raised on with Psychor's rules and regulations is nothing more than a falsehood of woods and false loyalty. And he's now making his own free choice.
To be fair to that, Stephen, it's like I thought these were the blips, the non-Psychor peoples that weren't in the particular club. Just happens to be the woman that he loves in there as well. And what is also, I think, a very major thing in this episode, at least as far as the upcoming plot goes, is Bester is like, this enemy is my enemy. Your enemy is my enemy for now.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I think there actually is an answer to all of that, but I'm going to refrain from answering because I know what the answer is, and I know what Bester actually thinks.
And I haven't read the book, so I'm going to speculate. I think that... Okay. No, go ahead.
No, that's all I can say.
No. He doesn't want to spoil because he's actually a good shepherd.
Okay, maybe I should say then. So what I actually do think, I think that he thinks that some of Psychor is being taken over, and all these people were blips, but I think they were all prisoners at one point. So the Corps actually did have them. So I think his motivation is a lot more selfish than sort of helpful, because it's his Psychor. He sort of it's his telepaths. I think he considers them as.
He's Big Papa Best.
He's like, I know best. This isn't right. I need to fix this. I'll do anything, but I'll do anything you want. But he'll stab them in the back probably.
Well, to be fair, I mean, psychic speech. He just straight says, he's like, well, these are my people and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to join the Corps. Or take your drugs.
And well, Keith, as you look confused and a little bit perplexed, going, why didn't I get that Denny's breakfast this morning?
5 for 5.
Yes, we are his friends.
It's the sigh of joy.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday. It's so uncomfortable.
You said you weren't going to sing because you were his friend.
I was going to sing.
I said that. I'm not singing.
I'm waiting for him to talk. It's like he's talking in Morse code.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say certain things.
He was blinking twice to say help.
Because of spoilers. There are major spoilers having to deal with what Bester actually thinks. And when you actually find out what he truly thinks towards the end, it answers a few questions.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
I'd like to say more, but I can't because let me put it to you this way. If you really want to know, I will answer your questions about Bester after the final episode, and then I'll answer whatever you want to hear. So
I believe the appropriate answer is read the books.
Yep.
That is the appropriate answer. Just read the books.
Because it's really hard for Keith to give spoilers when he literally scolds us when we were doing the first startings of this show when we were in season 2, and he's like, "Motherfucker's gonna say spoilers, and I'm gonna have to run raids, and I'm gonna throw the bathtub out the window. It's gonna be over."
Aren't you glad I did that, though? Aren't you glad?
Oh yeah.
How dare you live up to your own standards?
Just like memes being late, his own standards.
Consistent.
It is just. Yeah, there is a lot of goodness ahead on this show. So that's all I have to say.
And now,
there's so much good.
For those wondering, this is Keith actually watching J.M. Straczynski outside his window.
Oh, jeez.
What a wonderful transition.
Oh, man. Well, again, things are definitely going to get interesting. So they are definitely going to live in some interesting times.
Can I just give a quick shout out to Jakar as I cut off Keith for like the millionth time here? The sheer fact that this whole time that Jakar has been warning people. He's been warning people. It's literally in their holy text from conveniently or like 1,000-ish or so years ago. And it's all written. Oh God, this is making me think even more. Oh God, this series is so good. But all I'm saying is at one point, he literally just gives the Book of Jaquan to was it Garibaldi and everything. Even at one point during this episode, he starts like tapping on. He's like, "Please do not tap the Book of Jaquan.
Do not thump the Book of Jaquan."
And it's like literally, it's like this is hand transcribed, but it literally gives so many clues that just bring everything together. It's like, oh, something with telepaths and the shadows. Ooh, they seem to be afraid and or need them. Maybe we could potentially leverage this in our war against an enemy that is far superior to us. Just saying.
I'd also like to say, Stephen from Archer Calls says, Stephen, given how long we still have, would you think covering the books afterwards so we have some time to read? Not everyone can get those books, though. What we could do is just discuss the books after the final episode and do all the interlinking spoilers from all that stuff and unlayer all the layers. That would probably be a better bet, so no one has to go out
we could go through topically, chapter by chapter, kind of reviewing it, because I know
I am not going another 4 months of chapter by chapter. By the time you get here, the chapters will be over. And you'll just be reading the cover.
It's probably best to just have one episode called the Keith episode, where he gets to just empty all of his knowledge onto the internet.
How about I just read whatever books I have from Adega? That's like 3 of them, and I'll just start reading them online. 7 beers to go.
You need to get permission. I think maybe.
I don't know.
You could join JMS's Patreon.
Yeah, I gotta pay $1,000 to get my sink fixed on Wednesday. So
I apologize.
Yeah, you didn't know. Why are you apologizing? We found out that it was bad work job, but it's leaking. So yeah. And Constance, this is true. Almost all of them are available as ebooks. That is true. You can just play as an audio book and just make sure no one gets claimed, or just do a watch party with those books playing on a Discord. Maybe. Or we can just get JM on and he can just talk the shit, which I'm still, if you're listening, JM, I would love to have you on. Same with Claudia. Pat, you're welcome to come back anytime. And Bruce, I can't afford you, but I'd love to have you on.
Again, I think they did a really good job in wrapping up certain storylines in the books, especially this one with Bester, because he's the character you love to hate. And when you get to the irony of it all, that's the word, irony. That's it.
Irony man.
So,
irony man does whatever in irony.
Those who have actually read those particular books know exactly what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Has something to do with a certain statue that they have on the grounds of Psychor. And how it, Anyway.
Yeah.
But,
great.
Yeah, very good. So let's get to the rating.
Because Keith's hungry. I am Irony Man. Snap.
So let's start with Kate. What would you rate this?
I'd say 8. I think it's a funny episode, even despite. I mean, I don't like Bester, and I know you're not supposed to, but he has his moments where he's entertaining. So,
Monkey,
I give it maybe 8.
5. $3. Take care, Sir Percival. Have a good night. Thank you. 8's a good answer. What about you, Tickle?
9, I think. There's a lot of really good acting in this episode as well with Mira and Andreas.
Yeah.
What about you? Go on. Sorry, Tickle.
No. I think that was it. My last was looking for something else, but that's it.
And what about you, Memes Eyes Dragon Zord? I can't even talk right now.
Totally copying Mr. Tickle Trunk. I'm giving it a 9 as well. Because, again, knowing some of the things that are coming up, that is re-gauging some of the things, but this was a very impactful episode from what I remember watching it. And just the sheer fact that Jakar is finally getting it. He's finally getting invited into the Cool Kids Club. And the sheer fact that he's like, I'm not sure if it's this episode, but he understands it's like, well, millions must die. And it's like he comes to accept that, and just that enlightenment, I don't know, it resonated with me. I felt good.
Mm-hmm. It is a culmination of a lot of things in this episode. That's true. Maybe a 9.5 for me then, actually.
You're welcome.
I've never thought about this episode that much, and I should have.
That's the great part about the internet.
I know.
All right, Keith, what's your rating?
9. It is a very well done episode, and it's another one of those transitional episodes. But let me at least say this: we're headed for a lot of transitions between now and the final episode. I mean, just when you think everything is going to go this way, it goes that way.
The story
just
has
when
a lot
you
of
think
elbows.
There's going to be a lot of moments where you're just going to go, "Ooh, I didn't see that. Ooh." So
Can confirm.
Yeah, season 4. Remember, season 4 is 2 seasons mashed together with every little bit that they didn't need yanked out. That is a very, very concise season, and a lot happens.
Oh, geez, a lot happens.
It's more dense than the show Expanse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this an 8.9, and I'd also like to state before we close out, the PS5 looks like it got hacked, so people can start reverse engineering all their firmware. Sony. Yep. But it's an 8.9 for me. These are 2 great episodes, and finally we're getting to something that has the bread and butter that all of us have been waiting to talk about. I think especially me and Keith, because we've been bite tongue kind of thing, and we do this every Monday. We're started on both platforms, and we're gonna keep doing it this way. I don't know why Tickle Trunk's giggling like a
I'm giggling
schoolgirl.
because that's probably Keith's constipated face.
I'm glad the PS5 got hacked. They only
Not doctor, but fiber.
But I want to thank everyone in the chat. I want to thank everyone in the chat. I want to thank my panelists. Before we go, don't leave yet. 15 and 16 next Monday. And hopefully a day gets better, or he's not so busy with work or life that he can join us. No pressure.
And the names of those episodes for actually 16 and 17 are War Without End Part 1 and 2.
Yes.
It's 15 and 16.
16.
Okay, can I control my show, Tickle, just for
I'm saying yes.
We should go by the international, not the Canadian episodes.
Interludes and examinations and the War Without End Part 1 technically are the next time episode.
Are you sure you want to do War Without End Part 1?
Yes.
Okay, look at Keith.
So I don't care. They have to come
thinking
back.
of Keith here.
Exactly.
Look at this man.
Loses himself.
I'm just going to
Can you get
mute
Mom
Tickle
and Dad
Trunk
to stop
quickly.
fighting? Please,
No, I'm just going to mute Tickle Trunk for a second. Hi, welcome to Fat Steven's channel. Hi. I wanted to be there.
How dare you pull clout?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Deathmask says, do you want to be famous? Yeah, I would love to be famous. You know how I get to be famous? Do you know how I get to be famous, Deathmask? Where are you? You know how you get to be famous? I fucking blocked you off my channel. No, I blocked you off my channel. Thank you,
But
buddy.
he has a dire wolf.
But Keith, all right, Tickle, I'm just kidding with you right now. But Keith, you're fine splitting up a two-parter, so they have to come back and actually discuss it. So we're getting the pre,
okay,
and then we're getting part one, then we're getting the second part, and then the aftermath. Do you understand how brilliant that is in 2-week period?
You know what? That's fair.
Them wait.
That's
fair. And Jesus,
I understand. I understand.
Let me do my channel, bro. I already have one Explorer.
Yeah, but look at Keith though. The man is going to explode.
I know. He's been doing this for months. He can calm down 2 more weeks. Honestly, I know it's his birthday, but
Keith, do you have a piece of coal handy? Put it in your hands right now.
No.
By next week, you'll have a diamond.
I am not doing 3 episodes. It will screw up the whole format. I cannot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do one episode and like fanboy and fan person.
No,
over
because
at
then it'll
JMS.
feel like you didn't get to do the episodes everyone wants to do.
Okay,
Because
do it
we're
your
going
way.
into season 4 with one
I
episode
said
from season
okay.
3.
You don't need to defend
I'm
yourself.
not
It's your
yelling. I'm just
show.
talking loudly because I'm good at it. I got
Resemble
Tickle Truck
that.
trying to be like, "Hey, just listen to Keith." This is like you're using Keith as a shield. Like,
Kate, it does feel like mommy just hit daddy.
Look,
Put it on
It's
the
his
table.
birthday.
I did not
Tickle
imply
Truck
or
on
say
it.
that. Stop putting words in my mouth. For
Keith, are
fuck's
you the
sake.
mommy or the daddy?
You're not
This is
funny.
kind of weird.
Somebody give Steven cake. Actually, give me cake. I like cake.
All right.
I'd like to think of myself as the semi-drunk uncle.
All right, that's cool. I'm not wearing no Peter Pan costume. With that, we are going to do 15 and 16 next week, and then the week after we'll do the aftermath of that 2-parter. Because why not? TV made us end on a cliffhanger. We can do the same here on YouTube.
Yeah, you're gonna need that after that 2-parter.
Yeah,
that 2-parter is. Oh.
Yeah. And what are you watching right now? It's me trying to maintain my channel. I don't know what's going on right now. It's like Steven's just here as a prop. His name's on the channel. He doesn't fucking know his shit. I'm just kidding. But I appreciate everyone trying to have the excitement. That's the brilliance of this. But we're gonna do that 15 and 16. We're gonna stick to the format. And hell, what happens? But who knows? We'll see what goes on in the future. But the chat has been awesome. Drunk, thank you for the raid. Hello to you on Twitch, whether you're a new subscriber or follower. Thank you for that support. We're gonna close out now with the outro. Before Tickle Truck tells me my outro needs to be longer. And before I forget, remember one thing. Don't leave just yet. This show is sponsored by Master Grift. Don't steal content without it. And also, if you're Fortnite or use Epic Games, don't forget that code. I am a creator. That code does help me mute Tickle Trunk. I actually have a pay for button that just works brilliantly in the future.
Farm those V-Bucks.
Yeah, and Santa's husband did kiss my ass. It was a true story. And with that, we're out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, panel. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone. Remember, be a little selfish tonight. Have some fun. And take care. I'm going to punch you, Tickle Trunk, real hard.
Wait, you're Santa?
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
How many hours a day do you listen to this song?
This song is royalty free. I don't have to worry about getting claimed.
So, like, 2?
It's almost the full song. That's how many members I had over the crawl. Yes, I have to make sure everyone sees. Whoa. And I still have to re-edit it because supposedly my chromosome is now a member.
I totally said I was gonna do this for my own folks, and I totally haven't for months. I'm so lazy.
Dude, your friendship's good enough.
Oh, I wasn't talking about you.
Then bite me.
Oh. I still have your kiss.
Here, I'll steal your 9-card pawn
But
shop.
added to the complexity of my beard. This will come into play later.
Just don't leave it in there too long.
We gotta establish the deep lore. JMS was good at it.
Yeah, he is.
You just became a member. What? I'm not doing this stuff.
You throw a wrench into the gears.